Happy New Year, Joey.
Happy New Year, Mike.
Listen, I just want to welcome everybody to the show. If you're watching live or on the replay, I want to wish you a Happy New Year, and I'm excited for you to join us here for 2024. So this is episode 28. You Were Born Rich, part 3, week 6. So we're on part 3 already. We're going to get into the next part of that in a second. But look, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share and of course tick the notifications, so that way you're going to know when we're coming on live. We usually come on around about the same time every week, so around about this time every Sunday morning or night, depending on where you are in the world, right? So look, I'm excited to be here. This year is going to be amazing. I just feel so good about 2024. 2023 was a great year for me, and I know it was a great year for Joey. Accomplished so much, and I'm so proud. Watched him succeed so greatly. But look, I'm excited for this year. And this year is an opportunity to transform your life. It's the no limits, transform your life opportunity. Of course, Joey and I want to help you get there, wherever that there is. I was talking to someone yesterday. I was just in the supermarket, Joe. And give me a second, I'll tell you this quick story and then you can say hello to everybody. I was in the supermarket yesterday and this girl was, and I was just saying Happy New Year to her. And she was like, oh, yeah, if I don't change some things, how do I expect things to change? And I thought, oh my God, that's so profound. Do you know what I mean? If you don't change them, then things are going to stay the same. So if you want 2024 to be a different year, definitely, links are in the description. Download the You Were Born Rich workbook and follow along with us, and maybe you can gain some insight into why, you do the things that you do, and why things are the way they are for you. And if you want to change something, you can learn how to change something. But again, this is really about looking better, feeling better, moving better, doing better. We're going to get into a little bit of that later on. But of course, if you've made a New Year's resolution that you want to, maybe just weight management or something like that, you want to look better, feel better, but if you want to look and feel the best you felt in a decade, we're going to encourage you to kick off your 30-day reset, no risk, with Joey and I, okay? So look, download your Freedom, Health and Lifestyle goal sheet. Link again is in the description. You might as well download that while you're downloading the workbook, right? You might as well have it, fill it out and send it into Joey, all right? Again, Joey's email, my email is in the description. And of course, as Joey says, just get it done, right? Say hello, Joey.
Hey, good day. Joey Maroma here from Sydney, Australia. Mike, always a pleasure and always looking forward for our session of episode. Couldn't believe it's 28. When we started, we didn't realize that it will take us from episode 1. And now is episode 28, and more to come. So I'm grateful, knowing that we are on a journey together. We keep ourselves accountable, and we work as a team. I found the best definition of the word team. Together, everyone achieve more. So we are we're here as a team, and we willing to work with many people we can to achieve more in life. And I really appreciate your time. And if you're watching this, like Mike said, welcome, and we're so proud of you. And hopefully, the information that we share tonight, we found the information through our mentor and our leadership. So we want to pay it forward because we want the legacy to live on. And the information will change lives, and we believe that the information that you're gonna hear, listen, watching, and sharing tonight will change your life if you really implement it into your life. So I'll get back to you, Mike.
All right, well look, so obviously we're going through the You Were Born Rich Bob Proctor remastered webinar. The link is in the description where you can download it. The link for the workbook is in the description. Download that too. Follow along with us. We're on part 3 of the remastered series, and we're midway into it. So, last week was a little bit about subconscious mind and different things like this. Let's just get into it, Joe, and we'll see where it leads us. But, look, to be honest, I think when we were finishing last week, it was talking about really getting a mentor. And how, look, that's so important. We're part of an organization, which is run by Linda Proctor. She's the, leader, for want of a better expression, right? She's the founder of this organization. And of course, she was married to Bob for a long, long time. So we're very privileged to have that connection. And of course, she's one of our mentors. And of course, you can, we'll give you the details where you can find out more, where you can go and find out more about that a little bit later on. But you can get a mentor too. And of course, the great thing about this organization is it's free. You don't have to pay for that mentorship, But again, it's about helping people to get what they want out of life, to live the life that they truly want, to unleash that potential that they have within them. And of course, before we came on, I was just telling Joye a quick story about one of my mentors, Megan McCurdy, actually, former Olympic Canadian gymnast. Now she epitomizes goals, and dedication and everything else. She rang me on Monday and we were having a conversation and she's like, so what are your goals? And she just nailed me down to giving her goals. Do you know what I mean? So goals are important. Someone to keep you accountable is important, to keep you, but look, more importantly, you need to fixate on your goals. You've got to think about them all the time. Not just think about them, but you've got to feel them. You've got to feel them as being done, So I think that we'll jump straight into this, Joe, and we'll see what gems there are today, right? There's going to be some real gems. So let's see where we're at.
And that would solve their problem. However, if they're in the habit, if they've got a habit, now think of this, of spending more than they earn, would bringing in more solve their problem? No, of course not. If a person was in a break-even position, if they were in the habit of spending everything they earn, would bringing in more money solve their problem? No. Well, maybe the person should change a habit. Maybe the person should change the way they think. Maybe they should change the source of their advice. How many of you would really like to become financially independent? Be honest. Ask yourself, do you really want to change your financial position? Now, I'm going to give you a formula that the masses use, and because they use it, they end up broke. It's a simple formula. There's nothing complicated about it. They take their income, they subtract from their income their expenses, and what is left, they save. What do you think the problem is? I beg your pardon? Nothing left. No. It costs them more to live than what they're earning. Now, here's a formula for financial freedom. I like that better than financial independence because I'm going to tell you money will generate a respectable amount of freedom. How many of you'd like to go to Paris that have never been there? How many would like to go to Rio that has never been there? How many would like to go to Madrid, never been there? All you need is a few bucks. A person should sit down and establish financial goals. They should know exactly what they want to be worth a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Without giving any thought of how they're going to get there, this is where I want to be. Then they should add to that their expenses. Do you know that most people do not even have the brain cells to figure that out properly? I might be able to, but it would probably take me a long time, and I would really be afraid that I would make a big error. This is something that has to be done by a pro. Most people are not able to even identify all the areas they spend money. Well, they may think they do, but they really don't. When they add those two together, that tells them what their income must be. Now, that doesn't change their income, but at least they've got a target to shoot at. Now, if you want to become financially independent, sit down and decide exactly what you want. Go to a real good financial counselor, a financial planner, and let them get involved in what they call a fact-finding mission. They've got forms. They've got that little chip now. I mean, there's so many ways that they can do it. Let them figure out what it costs you to live.
If you want to make money online as an affiliate marketer, you may find this a little bit controversial, but we've stumbled across a way to earn.
And then you're going to know how much you have to earn. Now, here's how we change it. I want you to take the back of that little card that you've got. Take the back of that little buff card. Draw a box on it like that. Now, if you're sitting in your den, in your family room, maybe out in the backyard, go and get a pad and a paper. Just turn this off until you get it, and then put that box on. Now take and draw a line right down the center. Now take and put 4 lines inside the box. Now above the first set of boxes, write an M. Above the last one, put an F. Put a T beside the M and a T beside the F. Put a W in the center. Now we've created a week's calendar. I like to do it a little different. Now, what we're going to do now is take and change it into mornings and afternoons. AM. Let's loosen this up a bit. You repeat this after me as you write it in. Come on. AM. AM. Come on, only about a half. You're doing it. Right? What'd John say? The more you put in, the more you get out. Come on. AM. 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 No, you see, I started ahead of you, so I'm usually a millisecond ahead of the mass. All right. Now, let's take the other boxes and put in PM. Come on. PM, 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 PM. There, we all finished same time. You learn quick. All right. Now, let's stop and look at what the average person does. They go out and they work Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, Friday afternoon, and they earn, let's say, $35,000 a year, and they give it all to someone else. Every cent of it. They give it to the mortgage company, they give it to the grocery store company, they give it to the leasing company, they give it to the gas station company, they give it to the dry cleaning company. They give it all away. It was their money. They worked for it, they earned it, and they didn't even keep any of it. Do you know the ancient Babylonians go way, way back? They knew exactly how to become financially independent. They were a very, very, very wealthy race of people. They said that a part of all you earn is yours to keep. And what you should do is take the first part you earn. That's yours. Now, you're going to find people say, but I couldn't afford to do that. Oh, the truth is, you can't afford not to do that. Because you see, the latter years of your life, what should actually be the worst may very well turn, or the best, may very well turn out to be the worst. Andy, $1.5 million, and all you've ever done is set aside $20 a week. Is that correct? Have you any idea, Andy, what you would be worth in a relatively short period of time if you did that? If you just said, I'm going to take what I earn between 8 a.m. and noon on Monday, and I am going to pay me that. Anyone that is prepared to make that kind of a commitment, I can assure you, can become financially independent in a relatively short period of time. Now, for many years, I traveled with John all over the place, all over the country. We would work up 200 cities in a year. And we were working with all kinds of financial institutions. And you know what really puzzled me? These people were working around money all the time, but they didn't understand it. Most of them didn't even have very much of it. It's like Bernard Baruch one time said. He said it puzzled him. People on Wall Street worked around money all their life, and yet they didn't understand it. They thought they were excited because they were earning money. The truth is they were earning the money because they got excited. There's a story of Pat and John in the Born Rich book. Pat and John are friends of mine. Here about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I guess, just around this time of year, it was around the beginning of November, we got together and we sat down in the Prince Hotel. It was obvious to me that they were not a very happy couple, and they weren't. And it was obvious why. They had never sat down and taken one of these gold cards and written on it what they wanted. They were locked in that particular morning to a very negative polarity. I was locked into a very positive one. I was not about to move. And I said to them, John, what's something you really want? He thought I was being ridiculous, and he says, Pat and I'd like to have our own house. I said, then go and get it. Well, he said, we can't. Well, I said, why not? Well, he said, we haven't got any money. I said, John, you don't need any money. Now, some of you'd think that's sort of a ridiculous statement. They certainly did. They said, what do you mean we don't need any money? I said, well, you haven't made a decision to buy the house. What do you need the money for? And you know, that's why most people never make a decision to live the way they want to live, because they haven't got the money. Then the truth is they don't need the money until they make the decision to do whatever they're going to do. I said, you want to be in the house before Christmas? I took the calendar, and right across the 18th of December, I said, moving. Now I said, you just think of how to get that house, not why you can't. I said, I'd be a poor guy to talk to from this point on, because I don't have a real spectacular record in the area of real estate. But I said, I know a lady that does. She worked at Harvey Callis Real Estate just up around the corner from the Prince Hotel in Toronto. Her name is Natalie Kopman, Natalie Wasserman now. I was just at Natalie's wedding last week. I said, Natalie, I got a couple of live ones over here for you. They want to buy a house and they haven't got any money. And I remember her saying, oh, great. But at any rate, she came around and I said, Natalie, John and Pat have an image in here of the kind of house they want. I want you to listen carefully to them until you get the image in your mind of the kind of house they want. Go out and find it and come back and tell them how much they need to put down on that house. And I said, it'll probably turn out to be an awful lot less than what they thought. They thought it cost lots of money. They didn't know how much lots was. The very day that I had marked on their calendar, the 18th of December, they moved in to number 7 Bard's Walkway in Willowdale, Ontario. They lived in that house for a couple of years, and they sold it for a handsome profit. And the lady that bought the house is here today. Stand up for a minute, Vera. Vera Kozel bought that house. Is that correct, Vera?
Yes.
Thank you, Vera. Vera lived in it for some time, and she sold it for a respectable profit. Now, I'm only going back 5, 6 years. The lady that bought it lived in it for a while. And on the 15th of September, my own son and his wife bought it. That's right. Is that right, Leslie? Brian, stand up here. Am I right or wrong? Now, how old are you, Leslie? 23. Brian? 26. 26. I keep forgetting. All right. Reminds me how old I am. Here he is, 26 years old. Where did I say I was when I was 26? I didn't even know the war was over. I didn't. But I never had very good information running around my head. You see, that's not the first house they've bought. That's the second house they've bought. They've got the first one rented, and now they're living in the second one. And yet they're only 26 and 23. You telling me you can't make it? Here's a kid here from Burlington, Canada. The Barry Banner Advance. Little town just north of Toronto. City, not a little town at all. Overcome procrastination, earn $1 million. Earning $1 million before the age of 30 is passé. Tim Krochuk told Barrie North Collegiate students how to earn it before they're 20. All you need is a winning attitude and the ability to overcome procrastination and intimidation. A 19-year-old student from Burlington, Ontario. It's a combination which has earned him a net worth of $1.5 million. An audible gasp escaped from the audience of more than 75 students at North when Krochuk revealed what he was worth. He said, there's no trick to having a winning attitude. It's all in the way you think. He said, this stuff, although it sounds really hokey, it works. This kid had his first business when he was 12 years old in grade 7. He's had 8 since, 4 of which is still in operation. You think you can't? That kid started when he was 12. Brian and Leslie just bought their second house, 26 and 23. I was trying to figure out where to get the rent. And I'm going to tell you, on more than one occasion, I never got it, so they put a lock on the door. I'm not going to ask you how many of you that's happened to, but it's happened to me, and it happened more than once. Didn't even know how to do that. I met someone that really understands money, and I married her.
I'm going to give you my #1 tip to get over a breakup, and that is going to be going to therapy. Going to therapy helped me.
And when we came back to Toronto, I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to originate an idea, and we're going to start a company so that the people that go through the seminars will be able to have a choice of going and getting competent financial advice. And you know that thousands of people have gone through that company. Now, Linda operated that company. The first couple that went through there were getting married in 9 months. I'm going back about 8 years. One said they couldn't save money, and the other one said they couldn't save their soul. Nino, you know this couple. With a proper plan, they had enough money to put a down payment on a house and buy all the appliances for that house 9 months later when they got married. Here just recently, they sold that house, earned a handsome profit. In fact, they earned more money, profit on that house than they have earned themselves working since they started to work, and they moved into a much more beautiful house. Now, if you're not making a headway you want, for goodness sake, go get some advice. Now you go back on page 19. And as you take a look in this book, again, if you're sitting in your family room or you're sitting out in the back porch, on page 19, write in a date that you're going to have an appointment with a competent financial planner. And go and sit down and let them help you answer the second question. The figure below is the amount of money I need to provide the things I want to live the way I choose to live.
Don't let your present financial situation deter you from going right after the thing that you really want, your goal. I want to introduce you now to a couple that I've just referred to in the seminar who thought they couldn't go after what they wanted because it would cost lots of money. But with the proper advice, they got exactly what they were after. They're a couple of very dear friends of mine, Pat and John Swan.
We met Bob early that day. I remember it very distinctly. It was at the Prince Hotel in Toronto. We were to meet him at 7 o'clock in the morning. And the whole purpose of the meeting was to find out what we really wanted. We didn't know at that point, but we knew we wanted something. And I remember meeting him, and he looked directly at John and said, "What is it you sincerely want? What do you want more than anything?" And John just looked at him and
I sat there and I thought, we'd been discussing this for a couple of hours. I sat there and I thought for a couple of minutes, and I said, "Bob, I really want Pat and I and Tony to have our own house for Christmas, 1982. And this was early November. And that's what I wanted. And it scared me. We hadn't done real well financially up until that point. We were living in a basement apartment, and the idea of owning our own home before Christmas was what I really wanted. But I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I needed to do it. I didn't know where I was going to get the money. I had never bought a house before. I didn't know even who I had to contact as far as a lawyer or a real estate person or anybody that I needed to help me get this house.
Not only that, John, we didn't even know how much money we needed. We didn't have a clue. We just thought it was astronomical, and we sort of discounted it, put it out of our minds.
And that's when Bob sat there and looked at us, and he said, well, what you have to do is put together a plan. And with that, he reached down and he moved his coffee cup off the placemat, and he picked up this placemat. And I still have it. I'm not a collector, but I still have it because it...
You got to look at this. It's great. It says the Prince Hotel down there. And
Bob turned it over, and he wrote us out a recipe of what we needed to do to get this house. And he wrote a statement on top of the placemat, and it says, decide on the amount you want to live the way you want to live, and go for it. And with that, we started into some action. Bob suggested a real estate agent that we contact and get this real estate agent to show us some houses, find out what the prices were, find out what kind of house we wanted. We had to get a picture, a clear picture of what we wanted. We had to get emotionally involved in that picture. It was something that was, it was such a big idea for us at that time. It scared us. It really made us uncomfortable. And with that, Bob laughed. You know, he really did. He said, it should make you feel uncomfortable. If it's a big enough goal, it will make you feel uncomfortable. And he grabbed my day timer that I had sitting on the table, and he opened it up until December 20th. And you can see the day timer. He put a line through the day, December 20th, 1982, and he wrote, moving into house. And that made me feel uncomfortable. After that, we closed the day timer, and he said, well, I have a real estate agent that you can call. I know of a girl that's attending the seminar that's a very good agent. So he told me to call her. And I said, okay, Bob, when we get home, I will give her a call. He said, no, call her now.
There's a quarter, go.
So I went to the phone and I called her and made an appointment with the real estate agent. And later that afternoon, we went and looked at some homes. Within a couple of days, we found exactly the home we wanted. And then the pressure really came on because we signed an offer on this house. The offer was accepted, and we still did not have the money to close the house deal. It was interesting. It was a lot of emotion. It was a fair amount of pressure because it was uncomfortable. And when you're doing something different than you've normally done in your past, it becomes uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to you. But to make the story come to a beautiful ending, early November, we chose the date, December 20th, to move in the house. And at 7 o'clock, December 20th, the lawyer brought the keys to us, and we unpacked our furniture and moved into the house. That's the Pat and John story. It's a good story. It's true.
Think of how the proper advice changed the direction of John and Pat Swanton's life. In your action planner on page 19, we suggest here, I will have an appointment with a competent financial planner, write in a date, and go and get the proper advice. Most of us need help in this area. I've often openly admitted it's not an expertise that I possess. Most people don't. Do what Pat and John did. Get the proper advice in this important area. Make your decision right now before you go any further. Put a date and act on it.
We started out this.
All right, Joe, give me your thoughts so far. You're mute.
Sorry, decision. One of the words that stand out for me is decision. Some people, will struggle with the small-minded and also their habit, thinking that we can't get this because we don't have the money, we don't have the resource. So, but it's so true. You don't have the money because you haven't made the decision. You have to make the decision first, then the rest will come to you. You have to attract the good that you desire into your life by making a decision. And I think that's I think we wrote down something in the comment to, it's all about what you really want. It's not that you have to wishy and hopey and half-hearted. It has to be something that you really want, and it will be a big one, but it will make you uncomfortable, because if it's a great goal or something that you really want is so big enough, it will definitely make you uncomfortable. So no easy path, but it can be done by have the right professional, right people to guide you. But you have to make the decision that I'm going to do it, and you have to do it right away. And I think Bob shared about the goals. Something that stand out to me is you have to put a time frame to the goals. And like yourself, myself, I have 5 years ago, I carry a goal card with me. I wrote down my goal, and I'm so grateful that some of them I tick it so far. And this year has been a 5 year of that goals, and most of the things that I wrote down I already accomplished. I have no idea when I wrote it down, but I make the decision that this is what I really want, and it's make me uncomfortable. But every time I look at it, sometimes I felt like this is a big goal. I won't be able to achieve it. But I look back at my journey now, and I'm so grateful that I make the decision, wrote it down, what I believe that this is what I really want. And it manifests in a God ways for me. So that's the takeaway I just so far. There's a lot of things that we learned from this session.
There is a lot, isn't there? When we first started off, he started off saying, get some advice. I wrote that down. Get some advice. And then the last thing he said was, get the proper advice. That's a big difference. Get some advice could just be you and I having a conversation. Oh, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? And everything else. Neither one of us being an expert in that. So you have to get the proper advice. So if you're sitting here, if you're watching this on a replay and you're thinking, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this, well, go and speak to someone who's done that. Do you know what I mean? Like if you want to earn 10,000 euros a month or $10,000 a month or whatever it is, go and speak to someone who's earning $10,000 a month, or find out what they're doing. We've got those mentors here in this group, if that's what it is that you're looking to do. So it's not just about getting some advice, it's getting the proper advice. Put together a plan and get emotionally involved. Like I liked what your man said there, Pat, or Pat and John, and John said, Bob gave us a recipe. Like it's a recipe, right? If you do all of these things, you do it all in the right order, and you do it consistently, you're going to end up with what it is that you want. And that's really what it is. So put together a plan or a recipe, get emotionally involved. You've got to, imagine going to your calendar, right? 2024, you've got your calendar, 2024, and by a certain date in there, you want to be doing X, Y, or Z. You got to write it in your calendar, right? And then you got to look at it, and you got to believe it. You've got to see it in your mind as already being done. And that's what Bob says. It's going to happen twice. you know, once in your mind and once in reality, you know. So one of the big things, it was something that just popped into my mind, Joe, you know, and it was, don't be afraid to try. And you had literally just touched on that. Do you know what I mean? That's what you were talking about, you know, making a decision, you know, and I wrote down, you know, making a decision, and then right next to it, you know, I wrote down fear. You know, you can be afraid to even try, you know, because you wonder what maybe your friends or your family are going to say, you know, like I myself, you know, a couple of years ago when I got started with this organization, one of the things that we do is the 16-week challenge, or, you know, try and get into better shape. And of course, you know, like when somebody first kind of approached me with this idea, you know, I didn't want to do it. Joe, I'll be honest, I didn't want to do it. And, you know, if I was going to try and lose some weight, I really wanted to do it in secret. That way, if I failed, no one would know, right? I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to put myself out there. But, you know, I made a decision to get started. And, you know, I was afraid. You know, I was afraid of what people might think or what people might say. But again, you know, I got started. Within a couple of weeks, I'd lost like 10 pounds. You know, I had to cut 2 new holes on my belt just to stop my trousers from falling down. You know, I felt better. You know, and because of that experience, I knew I could do it then. I knew it would become easier for me. And it just became then about creating new habits, doing things differently, you know. So again, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm moving closer towards my goal. You know, every day and every way, I'm getting stronger and fitter, you know. So I would encourage anybody watching, you know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to give something a try, you know, because you're worried what somebody else might think. You know, like one of the things that Bob said, I can't remember in what context he was saying it, but he was saying, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me that, you know, my wife wants me to be, not the me that my kids want me to be, not the me that my friends or my teachers want me to be, but the me I want to be, you know. And I would encourage you to be you. You know, don't try and be anybody else. Just be you. Be the authentic you. Put together a plan. Get emotionally involved. Like Joey says, make a decision. Don't be afraid to try. And get the proper advice. You know, like, to be honest, there's so much stuff in this that I think that, you know, if you're serious about changing something in your life, you probably want to go back to episode 1 and just start again. Download that workbook. Start again and go through it. You know, like, even if you just go back to the beginning of this one, because it's all about finance, you know, even if you just, that first morning that you work on a Monday morning, that money's yours. You know, like when he talks about the, you know, financial goals plus expenses equals income. You know, like if you don't have financial goals, you need to make some financial goals. Otherwise, nothing's going to change, right? Nothing's going to change. It's all going to stay the same. So, boy, telling him, I love this stuff, Joe.
I love it.
Big enough goals will definitely make you feel uncomfortable. That's so true, Joe. So true. Telling you.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, listen, look, if you want to change some things in your life, I was going to tell you about it. So, you know, you've got to change some things in life. One of the things that you can do is that you can go to this website. Let me see if I can find it. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So you can go to risethrive.global. And of course, this is an initiative that Linda Proctor is running. Why don't I just see if I can just find this Rise Thrive Global, and I'll just share this tab with you. Okay, and it asks you what Bob asked you. You know, what do you really want? What if there was a way to truly create the lifestyle of your dreams, one that actually worked for you, a proven way that wouldn't you be curious to find out what it is? Okay, so watch this video and then download the little black book. You can do that by clicking this link here. And of course, where it says, how did you hear about us? Just put Joey and Mick in the bottom here. And of course, yes, and download that little black book. So this little black book that Bob talks about. And of course, watch the video, multiple sources of income, learn the secrets that all wealthy individuals have known. So, you know, Bob was talking about finances. This is one of the secrets, multiple sources of income. The most successful way to earn money is to set up multiple sources of income. That doesn't mean having 2 or 3 jobs. You know, there's a different thing that you can do. So, and you can also become part of a community of like-minded friends experience world-class mentoring support, knowing that you're being taught by those that have already achieved success. So this is getting the proper advice, and of course you become part of something that provides the opportunity to really make a difference in your own life and other people's, and your success is built on helping others to succeed. It's really people helping people. So Joe, you're part of this community along with myself. What's your insights?
Yeah, we have a call coming up, Mike. I think is a great call, and we have a special guest. That's Bob Proctor. He's going to talk about the book. My Dad Knew the Secret. So it's that's Linda, our mentor, and the founder of our organization, and we have a great leadership in our team. People around the world, from Europe, Canada, America. So, and you in Ireland, myself here in Australia. So we all collaborate. We have different gifts. Well, we encourage each other. We helping people, build their own business from home, online store, but to create a multiple source of income. You can live in Australia, but you can have multiple source of income coming from different countries by using our system. So we have a great platform and also profession, and you or myself are working on that platform. So it's you have people to guide you. You are doing business for yourself, but you are not by yourself, and it's a great community.
Absolutely, Joe. So you can see there, I've got the link to the webinar that Joe was talking about with Linda Proctor and Brian Proctor, which is going to be great. Where exactly what Joe was talking about. He was talking about how his father knew the secret, right? Which is pretty good, because seeing as he was in the secret, I think he did, the law of attraction and all this kind of stuff. So all you need to do is go to zoom.to.link/2024-launch. I'll put the link in the chat, so if you want to download it. But again, register and come along. It's completely free, and you're going to learn something. Well, I think you're going to learn something. Look, I'm not saying it's for you. I'm just saying you should check it out. That's all. Okay. So join us on the call. Okay. So there you go. So that information is there. So you can go that. So you can get that out of the chat. And of course, anything else you want to say about the Rise and Thrive initiative, Joe?
You will have some video there that will give you an introduction of what we're doing. I think it's better than us. Sometimes, I tell the people that I spoke to, sometimes I will confusing, but I'd rather send you a video of the community, and also our vision, our mission is through a video or tools that will explain it better. So, you're more than welcome, if you're watching this, to go to that website. Feel free to scroll around, check those videos, watch them, and it will give you a better idea of what we are involved with or what we're doing.
Absolutely. Okay, great. All right, we'll get back and we'll watch a little bit more of. Let me just have a look. I'm just having a quick look around here. Hold on a sec. Yeah, we'll get back to it anyway and take a quick look and see. Okay, I must update this actually, because I don't think that I have it on the video. But anyway, but look, I'm just mumbling away to myself, Joe. Distracted. Right. Okay. So look, we'll get back to it, and we'll see what Bob's got to say.
This morning, talking about the idea or the fact that when we think in pictures. A picture can very well be called an image on the screen of the mind. Now, there's an entire chapter in Born Rich called The Image Maker, and that's what you are, and that's what I am. Let's give John a welcome. He's going to take us through the first part of The Image Maker.
Cut.
Cut.
Telling you, keep forgetting. I'd say this is probably a good place to pause it, Joe. because they're probably going to get into another sequence.
Yeah.
You know, so the image maker sounds like a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to hear what it has to say. Now, look, if you're watching on the replay, by all means, carry on listening. Do you know what I mean? And you can, you know, point some questions at us for the next one. But I think, yeah, I think it's just a good place to pause it. And again, I think it's definitely worth going back and trying to understand financial freedom. You know, like, what is financial freedom for you? You know, if you're watching, you know, is it an extra €1,000 a month, an extra €2,000 a month? You know, like, I suppose the challenge is, you know, how do you make more money without working harder at what you're already doing? You know, or without getting another job or second jobs or anything else. Key is leverage, right? Being able to leverage your time. I think Bob talked about it last week. There's only two ways of making money. You know, one is people and one is money, right? So, you know, understanding these things, and I suppose, you know, the business that we're involved in, network marketing, you know, that's all about leverage, about, you know, leveraging your time, leveraging your income. Yes, you know, look, not everybody knows about it. I suppose, and many that do have maybe the wrong idea about it. They've been told about it by maybe a friend or somebody who maybe doesn't have the knowledge or experience to talk about it. And again, that's about getting the proper advice again, isn't it? You know, but you know, not just getting some advice. You know, I can get some advice. Like, I wouldn't go to, you know, if I had a toothache, I wouldn't go to my mechanic for him to look at it, would I? You know, I'd actually go to and get some proper advice from someone who's an expert, someone who knows how to deal with that. So, boy, I'm telling you, this stuff is so deep. It's so deep, Joe. You know, like, yeah, I'm excited for this year. So, go on then, give us your thoughts, and I suppose we will we'll get wound up. Let's hear what you've got to say, Joe. I always love your weekly roundups.
Thank you, Mike. Once again, you know, grateful this is our first one for this year, even though it's the number 28. But you know, I'm always grateful that we go back in time and review those resources. This is like the Bible, you know. You know, it's timeless, and you know, for those of you who are watching and you know, study this, it will transform your life, you know, and believe it, because we come in contact with this resource and make a change, big change in our mind, you know, our spirit, you know, the way we show up. And that's why we're doing this, because we want to share this information with the world. Knowing this, we don't want to keep it to ourselves, you know, we want to share it with everyone. So you have to make a decision in life, whether it's a small decision or big decision, or whether it's a hard one. You have to, you know, and just take action, make a plan. You know, either you have to talk to someone, financial professional, to help you fast track your journey, or you want to, you know, talk about people that they know about multiple sources of income. And we know those people, we have those people with us, and that's the people we associate with them. You know, that's big part of our journey. You have to associate with the people that will tell you that you're going to do it, you're going to do it, you can do it. So, you know, with our journey, you know, with this material, it always reminds us there is a big potential in us. You know, our life, we have something in us. Is a for us, for me, it's simple. I keep it simple. It's a gift. Everyone have a gift, and we have a gift to share with the world. And our gift, we're gonna help other people transform their life, help other people to look up a little bit better, or inspire, you know, or empower to go out and live the best life they want to live. You know, maybe enjoy financial freedom, maybe have the ability to make their own choice, whether to go to work or stay home or travel around the world. So I am so grateful, you know, every time I have an opportunity to share, knowing I'm doing my part, Mike is doing his part to contribute, to make an influence, to make an impact, to make a difference in this world. Thank you, my friend.
Always a pleasure, Joey. And look, what I think we're talking about here is freedom, health, lifestyle. Bob was talking about financial freedom, and of course, I think what we all want is to be time and money free, to have the time and the money to be able to spend it with who you want, when you want, where you want. And of course, good health, financial health, physical health, mental health, not just thinking positive, but feeling positive too. And of course, a lifestyle filled with purpose. Like what difference could you make in the world for not just yourself, but for somebody else? And I think that's what this community gives us. It gives us freedom, health, and lifestyle. Listen, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? So, it's easy to do and it's easy not to do, but it relies on you taking the steps. And Joey and I want you to take the next step with us. What is that step? Is it a big one? No, it's not. It's about, getting on that call with us, and you can go to the risethrive.global website to find out more, or register on the Zoom link with us. And of course, go to zoom.to link/2024 hyphen launch and register on that call. Get on that call and find out more. Like Joey says, we're not asking you to do anything, or to commit to something. You're not buying, booking, or committing to anything. All you're doing is getting the proper advice. And you're going to find out whether or not it's something that you want to take the next step again with. And if you do, great, we're here to help. We can't do it for you, but we can guide you. We can show you the way. And of course, look, Joey and I love doing this. I'm privileged to be here with Joey. Do you know what I mean? He's a great mentor. Very successful coach in his own right, helping hundreds of people, and I'm delighted to be here. And of course, we've also got other mentors, like Marnie and Vickers and, Nick Dask, Linda Proctor, of course, Megan McCurdy, and many, many more amazing people who are there. And look, I'm going to encourage you just to share your vision, share your passion, get involved, and start before you're ready. Now is the time. Today is the day. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Just start now. Take a little step. What we want is like, what's that? 1% better. What is that? Joe, 1% better every day. These are marginal gains, just small marginal gains, just doing something a little better today can pay a massive dividend tomorrow. So start before you're ready. The only thing you need to ask yourself is, do you want it? That's all you need to ask yourself is, do you want it? Okay, now we're going to play out with our favorite little video. I'm just waiting to see if Joey's going to pop something in the chat there. I'm not sure he is. If he is, I'm going to show it. But if he doesn't, we're going to move on. But I'll show it anyway. Right, Joe, listen, 2024 is going to be an amazing year for you. I know it is. I just know it. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones, Joe. I'm excited for you. And it's going to be great for all of you as well. So what was Joe saying? 1% better will compound. It will. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. It will absolutely compound. So look, you can take advantage of this right now and just join us on that call on Tuesday, on the 9th. And listen, look, I hope your wildest dreams can come true. They really can. They really can. I don't care where you are right now. Look, you can work your way out of it, but it's about getting the proper advice. And it's about putting together a plan that you can follow. Now, we're lucky, Joe. I absolutely believe we're so lucky because, we're part of this organization, which is really personal development with a business plan or a lifestyle plan, whatever way you want to call it. It's already here. We already have it. And, it's a privilege to be able to share it with everybody. But look, find out more. Right. And we'll see you on the other side. Joey, always a pleasure, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. How do you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, by God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you. And therefore, you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now, all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your stem. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.